Gather up. Lock in. Step up. Let's begin. Steel glare. Sweat on the canvas. Price there. Names on the bracket like warfare. One shot better bring that hard hair. Big dreams. Crossbones. Loud screams. Every weight, every style. One stream. Different roads. Same fire, same beam. Who's built for the storm when it's flooding in? Who's still standing at the bitter end? All colors, all corners in the same ring. One stage, one crown, hear the king sing. Welcome to the Canada, where the strong rise up and the weak don't sing. It's a race to the end, can you feel that sting? Title on the line, hear the hammers fall. Welcome to the Canada. Every rival collide in the wrestling ring. Who's the best, who's the greatest, let the battle begin. Only one still breathing when the lights go down.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Get Blaze podcast, another summit here in 2026. I was going to say, where is it? You can probably see it if I go up. There's that alien mask right there. I was gonna put it on and say, "Oh, they're back." I don't want to do anything stupid. No, I'm always doing something stupid, like screwing up my camera. All right, everybody, welcome in. Another summit, and we're going to get right to it. I got a couple guests coming on. We're mainly just talking about 2K26 today. We're promoting some people, of course, as always, and over 40 different companies in the gathering itself. Always promoting for more people out there. We don't have anything fancy like a game show or anything this time around. I do have a couple scheduled guests, couple videos to promote. I got a couple promotional videos sent to me, so we're going to play those for a couple people as well. I did post the link to anybody out there that wants to join, that has maybe not before, wants to come on and talk a little bit about the game. Charlie sees all. What's up? We got a lot of people in the chat already. Prime Time's in the building. We got Xander. We got Voltage. We got Tiny. We got Ben from GPW. The link, if you want to join and come in and talk, we're going to try to keep conversations per person from around 5 to 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes each person coming on, and then we'll keep it moving from that point on. Right now, we're going to go right to a video. I know we're all in Efedding, basically, in one form or another. We've had a couple different guests on since we've started this year's gathering. We started out with DC Twitch, Dragon Joshi Pro, and his Efed, all-female Efed, mixing real-life characters with anime and other types of characters. It's crazy. It's fun. His commentary is wild and crazy. I love it. That's my brother from another mother, as we say. We look just alike. Ben from GPW, just gave him props in the chat. You'll see him in the chat, and there is Odds Cornet, who we'll talk to today briefly, as well as Riley Wolf coming back to talk briefly today. We have Totes McGoats, Kyle Young, and Jiggles Infusion. Kyle has always had a representative from the Second City Dojo and LTDs, bringing his main character Kyle back. That's going to be fun for upcoming Stable War. We'll talk about that a little bit tonight as well. Always self-promotion. That's what this is all about, promoting all these different Efeds. I'm talking about 2K26 and our transition into that game, as bumpy as it may be at this point. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. If we need some positivity, we'll just bring Odds in and he'll make us all feel better about it. Totes, Kyle, and Jiggles Infusion over in the UK. That was a blast. That was good times. Good times. Triple Beat, Mordrin McSham count. We talked a little bit more about playing the good guy, bad guy, and I hope some people learn that, you can go any way you want. It's all up to how you control your character. We had a really fun round of Jeopardy with these guys as well. And I plan on bringing the Wrestle Sense that used to be the podcast with my guys that are in indie wrestling. I'd love to bring it back, but I'm going to evolve it a little bit and make it a game show. So the Jeopardy games are a test of it. So mainly like corny game show host type stuff. If I can find a Wheel of Fortune, we can do grids, we can do trivia, we can do Family Feud, things like that. So I have a bunch of ideas. If I can finger them out, we might do a little more game show type stuff. Where if I can find the best part, the part that I like best is when I find something online that's a game, like the the Jeopardy that I found, or the roulette wheel that we use, makes it a lot easier. I like to keep things simple if I can. Our fourth show last week, we had Solo on, Atticus and Kelly. We had Amadeus, which is a different type of Efed, which was fun. Today we're going open forum, but I do have some scheduled guests. We're going to bring Tiny on for Hell's Gate Wrestling. We have a special message from Monstar. He's got some personal stuff to do today, but he really wanted to talk about the game and his experiences. He's delved into some match testing already, so we'll hear a little bit from him. And he's also played through some of the My Rise and Showcase and stuff. Once again, I always feel like I got to shout out my boy Chance for helping us here in LTD with the Showcase and the My Rise. Full transparency, as I like to say. All right. I know. Where's my wah-wah? I don't have my wah-wah noise right now. Where is it? Yeah.
Got him!
All right. So we will have Monstar. We're going to have two newcomers to the community. Brandon Bones from MVWF. Always mix that up. And EWF The Beast. We'll have those guys come on. They've been kind of working in conjunction. We'll hear a little bit from them. And then we'll open it up for some people that have previously come here. So, and like I said, we got Riley and Odds already in the chamber. We'll bring them on, talk about some stuff, and move right along. We're going to get right into Tiny's video first to start us off. She is a promotional video she's put together. It was really good. I didn't tell anybody there was a 5 to 10 minute, like window or whatever, but but I was discussing it. That would be the best. I mentioned it once or twice on air that, I'd like to bring a bunch of people on and just do, 5 to 10 minute quick hits, bring them in, talk about the game, move on, next one. All right. You guys are firing it up in the chat. I love it. Jeff's here. We got Jeff Matthews here. Who did I miss? Charlie's in the building still. Thumbtacks. Yeah, there's some nice little additions we'll talk about. When we bring on all these content creators, we've highlighted their company as well as their creations and their ideas. Let me do one thing while I'm thinking about it. It probably won't work. Or did I? I thought I may have done it. I have all right. Everything is, there we go. We're good. We're good. Yeah. There we go. All right. Yeah, we're actually we'll be moving over there in a little bit. We got Stable War coming up, which we'll talk about. Actually, I should just go over that now. We're going to talk about 2K26 with each competitor. We're going to bring on a couple videos, like I said. Maybe we'll even go shopping with everybody's best friend, Rex. You never know. But Stable War is right around the corner. Teams are all ironed out. Of course, some special guest referees along the way, as always, to make things a little more interesting. Each stop, the D1, E2, A3, goes right in a row, and it's a different competition in each area. And what I was trying to explain to you guys before, each character, you'll only have one match in either D1 or DE2. You'll compete in one or the other. Same thing. You'll compete in either 3 or 4. 5, everyone's in. So every character will have 3 opportunities to help their team gain a letter. The idea is to spell DEATH. That's Stable War, 96 competitors. Different types of matches on each island, on each continent, I should say. And the main idea is to win and get all the title shots. So Stable War coming up soon, right after the gathering. The gathering is winding down. Let's bring on guest number 1. This is her promotional video for Hell's Gate Wrestling. All right, so there you have it. Hell's Gate Wrestling. See, that tells us everything you need to know about her show. So we can move on to the next guest. No, I'm just kidding. So they have a promotional video that works perfectly to help us come on and talk about what we need to talk about. So, ladies and gentlemen, here she is. Well, hello there, Tiny Taker. What's up, Mrs. Hughes?
Oh, Blaze, it's always good to hear my song from you.
Good to be here. Good to be here. Glad to have you here. Had a good show today. Obviously, hot off a show, and let's we can get right to talking about that's basically I'm gonna give you time to basically explain to anyone who may not know, even by all the pictures and the visuals, which were fantastic, to let you know what you do, where you do it. The link is in the chat, in the bio, and everything in the description. And then we'll get into some 2K talk here.
All right. As you stated before, I am a company on YouTube. I started on Twitch. Actually, Mark Caliber and Twitch and some others that started there got me into this. Blaze, him and his CEO of LTD inspired me to do this. Hell's Gate Wrestling has been a bona fide YouTube company on YouTube for 6 years now, at least. I started as a spectator in LTD. I became a mod soon after, and then became a roster member, and haven't looked back since. Hell's Gate Wrestling, as you can tell by some of the pictures, are a supernatural-based company. We are based in hell, where there is no rules, only my rules to guide you. Supernaturally based, you have to have it realistically supernaturally based. So you have to actually know your research. You have to actually know your mythologies. We do not do supernatural like TV. We do not supernatural like Underworld. We do supernatural from the books, through research, through actually learning about the said product. And then you saw there's at least 12 pay-per-views, one each month. I do have random shows like today called What in the Hell is Going On, as well as I host a show for Shalky on there, Nuclear Beginnings, where she does a 4 to 5 match show, which is a developmental type show for her called Nuclear Beginnings. So I also have regular shows, Chaos and Armageddon. We do have factions. We do have faction games. All the pay-per-views are kind of like a war games type inspired, where we have teams of 4 or teams of 2 going against each other. Fire and Ice, you've seen, was a Throne of Conquest, was actually what it was, Game of Thrones. And we pitted the 4 houses against each other. I put the roster in a roulette wheel. Thank you, Blaze, for giving me the idea of the wheel. He uses that from time to time to put each roster in 4 categories, and we fought each other. So it's been pretty fun. I do have spots. I don't know how many. I am bringing many new ones, Jigs and Fusion being just a few of them that I'm bringing in. So it should be fun. It always is fun.
Yeah, of course. It's just as we've always talked about with all the other feds, everyone has their own way to run it. And she's very controlling. So that's a good thing when it comes to something like this. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. You have to be. Like, I had to learn to have thicker skin and roll. But this lovely woman here kept by my side through thick and thin for a lot of this stuff. And, we, with a handful of other people, have been here since the first day, and we've weathered a lot of storms. And we're going to fight for this community no matter what. And it's with the game like this too coming out and dealing with a lot of the ups and downs. It's like we can go right into a lot of the things that were either brought back or new. And I talked like this to everybody I brought on, and I wanted to touch base with you about, of course, something that you're like, obviously I know the Inferno match tickles your fancy.
Oh, yes.
When 2K20 came around and it sucked, we were super pissed because the Hell's Arena was so perfect for what you guys do.
Yes, it was perfect.
But from this list, like I did with everybody, just, maybe pick out a few of these things that you either really look forward to, that you will use, you like, or you were hoping for, or maybe something that maybe disappointed you. Whatever. This is your, whatever.
And the last pay-per-view, which was like almost like a three-part, one was a continuation from last year's that I had to postpone due to personal reasons, and then the new one, which was just brought this month for Mordrin. One of the actual bonus matches in that is to focus and showcase all of my OGs on Hell's Gate, those that had opened the doors when I opened the door, that are still on the roster. I brought in as a Royal Rumble. I believe you won that, Blaze.
I don't remember anything.
If you haven't checked it out, check it out, because I think you won that Royal Rumble just a few weeks ago. Oh. I do pre-recorded, and I give Ben and GPW all props for allowing me to do that, because I touched base with him. I touched base with Beat. Beat is actually my active mentor. Thank you, Beat. Mwah. He's mentoring me on everything that I can do through OBS as well as Share Factory to not only do pre-recorded, but also record it, but then get my commentary. They've been just wonderful. So
to me, that's like the best part. That's the best part of the community is really utilizing the resources. You know what I mean? Like if you, that's why I've been making so many like groups in the Discord and stuff, and like share, please, like begging people in DMs, share what you know, like especially in the transition of a game like this, because I found out through the last couple games, it's like, I don't know, some people have to go out and maybe try a little harder, especially if you're new. And we'll talk about, having a new company here in a little bit with my next guest. But here it's like, now we have such a great community. It's like whenever the shows restart again, we know like these few people are going to be made here and over there. And we've already discussed a lot of it. And this person's going to help that person out. And like things like you're talking about, like Beat helping you with OBS, which he's helped me out with a ton of shit too. Like that means, I think the most to me is not only just we have so many people that like to do the same thing but differently, but we really do work together. Mm-hmm. Like there's so many little groups. Like I sit here and look at my Stable War groups and how tight knit some of them are. Like they are really there's never going to be a perfect list when you take 96 and try to make them out, but it's so close to being like, I cannot wait to see how everybody interacts with each other and with each other. We saw a lot of taste of it whenever you and Mordrin and Jake and Jeff and you guys were the Chosen family and the Gift of Gab group family, group thing. So it's like those type of things. But I mean, like from this list, what do you think that you were looking forward to the most coming into the game?
The list of, oh my goodness, the Inferno match. Let me just tell you that. Yeah. But even saying that the Inferno match won't be done every single time, I want to still make it unique. I still want to make it special. If people want to include it in a feud, okay, that will be your end feud. I mean, there will be no carrying on the feud if you choose to do an Inferno match within your feuding. It might be a championship title defense match, much like the casket has evolved now from challenges to now basically primarily being a title match for the dead man's title. So I might incorporate the Inferno match into one of those to make it.
Well, I thought the first thing I thought is like if any company, any show out of all these, you see all these logos would have a title for an Inferno match, it could end up being an Inferno title or something. Hell's Gate makes total sense. But we have to, we're the match testers. We've talked about this a million times. We're the ones that have to test all these matches because we're taking this game and twisting and turning it and making it all customs, everything. Then will it work that way? And we found out a lot of things we have to jump around or move around, right, or maybe not use this. Or if you're doing this type of Hell in a Cell, make sure you have KO on, or it takes forever. We've found all these workarounds, and that's through community once again. Right. And so I definitely know the Inferno is going to come in handy for you a lot, and even maybe like the scrapyard.
Yes, with some of my KO titles, absolutely. Yep.
And now, do you think you're going to use any more of the CAW slots or image slots? Like I've talked about this before. You double that for me. I might use a little bit more, but I already have too many people. Like I'll bring in outside of the game characters that maybe can interact with our wrestlers. Mm-hmm. But I may have more managers, but I don't know. What do you think? How are you approaching like the raise limits?
with the 200 slots. Oh, I am just so tickled to pink because
100 you takers, 100.
no, 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 no.
Boom, you're done.
No, 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 no. 2025 was devoid of a special tribute call. I could not make because I had not those slots.
Jack.
I have also reached out to somebody in this roster, and I'm making a call for her as a tribute for the alternate persona of said person. So Jack Bayou is actually going to have a call back in 26, whereas 25 he didn't. Matt Madison, his alternate character, will also now have a slot, and he will be featured in the Jack Bayou tribute show.
I love that.
On April. So yes, indeed, and that's how I am approaching it.
When I do a great hall show, I always like bringing Jack and people like characters from the past back for one-offs and stuff like that. Like we just did with Hunter, and we're still using Hunter for a little bit. And our memorial characters is something special. I've talked about that before.
Yes.
Shmoo, it's funny because I was going through some old pictures and found because the Shmoo, if you knew the guy, Hunter Fisher, big, lovable, huggable type of guy, the real Shmoo, he was never in a picture. Like hardly anyone ever, like he was never like the guy at a party. Yeah, let's get a picture, So I have one picture of me and him, and I was just like, good old Shmoo. And I thought about it, and that's why, you still use him from now and then as a memorial character.
My roster now is 100. 50 for men, 50 for women. I'm actually going to go 10, maybe 20 more men and women, but then the rest of the slots, half of them are not even going to be used. Just for your reasoning, the imaging and everything and the cause, I'm going to save that.
Don't fill it up. Are you intergender? Do you guys do intergender partially, a little bit, all the way? Not?
I was going to do the intergender, but the way I wanted to do it, the mechanics and the schematics will not allow it.
That's fine.
But we do have the mixed tags. I do have a mixed tag, man and women tag team. I might boost that up to a trio where 2 men and 1 woman can be.
Fun.
That is on the process, but the rest of them will be like the special referees. Riley Wolf, I love you. You're coming back as my special ref. I'll have Mordred as a slot for his special ref rather than just the roster. Mr. U will be a special ref. I will go out and maybe find somebody else in the community that would like to be a special ref, and they would be there. Also, the tribute cause like Jack Bayou and Matt Madison. I think in 26, Jeff and Lita have a armband for Hunter McIntyre. If anyone is creating a tribute call, much like I do for Jack, for Hunter, please get a hold of me because I would like Hunter McIntyre's call as a ref, especially with how we can, summon him back and spiritually have him as a special ref.
If Dylan Travis might, or someone over there could, that we're connected really good with him. You never know. And it's something that, like I said, it is something special that we continue to do. What about like the hair color and the blending? A lot of your characters that are going to use that, right?
Oh my gosh. Oh, my hair
that takes it to a new level.
You do not know how excited I am. I did my first call. I know I went against your wishes, but I created a character just to test the hair blend.
Testing is fine.
The ombre you can do with the women now is amazing. I even did it on a man too, kind of, sort of. Ombre meaning you can do one color as your base and then bring in another one to make it like a two-tone, kind of like Seth Rollins back in the Shield. I did one for a man and I did one for a woman. Oh my gosh. Thank you for bringing that back.
Yeah, it's real easy to use. I mean, you can do frosted tips for guys and stuff like that. You can do roots for women and stuff like that. And
you can blend them. You can sharpen it. Oh my God.
Pretty dope. So that's just imagine down the line what they could give us with that as different layers of that or something else. But it definitely adds. And I've always talked about, you see all these wrestlers and there's so many out there now in the Efed world that you gotta have something that stands. Like people know the Bumblebee look of Blaze McCoy. Like it's hard for me to change it. Like I have the lunatic hick types, overall look too sometimes. But when people see that black and gold, I'm kind of going more away from the Steel City Committee type stuff but it always, have that look. Either it's a certain hairstyle or a beard. Like I always make Cowboy John has to have the mutton chops. Like every time I get I'm like, I have to give you the big, huge beard because that's how it's Cowboy John. Yeah. And every character has something unique. That hair coloring and the body morphing now gives us an opportunity to do that really well, really well.
Now, what really perks my interest and why I have gotten away from the universe mode and play the play mode and the pre-recorded portion is because of the promos. I like to add commercials. I like to add, actual people voicing promos. If what I'm understanding with the promos, I can maybe sort of kind of insert that somehow in my universe. Thank you, because we need something like that too with the promos, especially with a show like yours, mine, and others that are role play and storyline based. That works into that.
Yep. All right. So that's a lot about, Hell's Gate, what she's done. Me and Tiny go way back with this. I mean, it's glue, and one of us are down, the other one picks the other one up and such. And the connections that we have that connect together really, when someone's sick or someone's not well or something's not going right in the community, I can always count on Tiny to help bring it all back together. So we appreciate you for who you are as well as what you do for the community and everything. And I'm going to bring everybody back for at the end of the day as well. So make sure you check out Hell's Gate Wrestling. Amazing what you're doing with the recorded stuff. Can't wait to see how you incorporate 26 and what we get there. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit too. Thank you, Tiny.
You're welcome. As always. Love you, Blaze.
Love you too. Love you too. All right, we're going to move right on now. I have a special announcement. Monstar was supposed to be here with us. He did have a prior commitment to a family engagement that he had to take care of. So we're going to hear audio from him because he's delved into my Rise showcase and a lot of creation. He started a little bit in creations and even did some match testing. So let's hear from our boy, Sean Shamrock, Monstar, about his take so far on 2K26.
Since they have an underground match, I kind of wish that they would have a lumberjack match. I don't think it's a far reach, but then I'm not a programmer. I don't know how these things work. Just in my brain, I would think it'd be easy enough to have those people on the outside, have them interact with you and throw you back in, or you could pick 3 wrestlers for one guy, 3 wrestlers for the other guy, and they can beat you up for like 10 seconds, then throw you back in the ring, something like that. You think that'd be an easy thing to do? That being said, I also wish they had the Iron Survivor match, but I guess they're probably keeping that for next year because they're going to run out of things to eventually put on the game, right? Once they hit a certain level. So I think they're saving that one for next game. Once again, totally pulling that on my ass. It's a guess. Let's see here. Like everybody, I wish it was a open world sandbox version of the game. Hopefully we get there. Like we said before, at least this year we got acknowledged that people do what we do. Will they do something with that? I don't know. Hard to say. I wish they spent less time on the islands like everybody else and my card faction thing, but that's a money grab for them. So I guess as long as they're getting money from them, they'll ask less from us buying the game. I don't see that being true considering what they did this year, but I'll just throw that out there. Like I said, fuck the island of currency. It'd be cool if we had our own private servers on the islands and we could have our own little island where everybody in the community or people that you know could interact together, just you guys. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I also thought it'd be really cool if they had like the ambulance matches, casket matches, the dumpster matches. Like say the dumpster had a garbage can in it, a couple bottles, I don't know. Something you can use out of the dumpster, you can grab and use as a weapon. The ambulance could have a crutch, a cast, which they already have Doink's cast there. They could use that inside the ambulance. Stuff like that would be, I think, pretty cool. Or maybe even pull a wheelchair out and throw them in a wheelchair and push them like the shopping cart out of the ambulance. OMG moments I would like to have back, but in a very limited fashion, where it's closer to like the end of a match once in a while. I wish they would use it like you set your settings for the close-up fights and all that. I wish you could set it to how often you want the OMGs to happen, if we ever had them back. Like everybody else, AI versus AI, we wish they used the tables more, light them on fire more. I'm just repeating what everybody basically says, but that's how I feel. Use the barricade more. I wish the game would come out once every 1.5 years. I'd throw that out there. Like if they did it every 1.5 years, I'd even wait 2 years to have a game done properly. Because you can get really good community creation, people. That's why I'm not going to be grinding so much when the next tiers come out. And I'm not paying for it. I'm broke. I could barely afford the game. And I'm not going to grind those. That just worked out because I wanted to play My Rise and the showcase to unlock stuff anyway. But up to that point, there's nobody that I have to unlock on that would have been on the DLC that I can't get on community creations, and probably made even better. Mystery opponents element is pretty cool. I don't like the purple meter thing. I don't know what's up with that. I'm not a fan of it. But definitely, this is the last thing I'll say about the game. I would have gave it like 8 out of 10. It's enjoyable to play. There's a lot of new stuff. The game's working really well, knock on wood. With less crashes and stuff so far. It seems like it's not as glitchy. I'm not mad at that. So I would have gave it like an 8 out of 10, but since they're extorting us, like the mafia, and shaking us down, trying to bleed us dry of every penny that we got, and I have to give the game a 5 out of 10. That sucks the fun and the air out of the room for me. If you buy the most expensive game, it's my opinion, probably everybody else's, you should have the option if you want to grind. There should be a little button you click, unlock everything, and you unlock everything. If you buy the top tier game at least. I like the staircase as a weapon and how they land on it, the whole doll mechanics. And you use weapons again during submissions, very cool. I've tried that a few times. I'm just figuring out the settings for Monster Factory Wrestling, which is returning. I'm going to throw that out there. Is returning the first week of April. We'll be switching over to 2K26 in June, the first week of June. So if you want to get it on board, if you guys aren't a part of Monster Factory Wrestling, you're welcome to show up. And please be a part of it. If you're part of LTD, and I know you from the chats, you're all welcome. Just hit Blaze up and he'll get a hold of me. Looking for about 4 new women and 4 new men to join. And if you've been on the roster before and you notice I took you off, it's because you weren't active. Just hit me up back in the DMs and we'll figure it out. And I really enjoyed My Rise. But like I said, going back to this season coming up, we're all trying to figure out the sliders. So the more that everybody shares about what you learn about the sliders, share it with everybody that you can, so we can get a more realistic match that lasts long enough to our liking. Singles matches based off of what I've changed with their attributes So you got to throw that into my equation for my sliders, because all my attributes aren't at 100. The most is 94, and doing that, I'm getting on average, I would say 8 to 10 minute singles matches, which is perfect. Some quicker, some right to the bitter end. I got 50-minute time limits. It makes it more intense and more interesting for me, at least calling it. Makes it a little more exciting that there's a time limit. The tag team matches are on point. I tested all those. I really like them where they're at. So yeah, that's all I have to say. And I think I did it. 9:34. Hit my 10 minutes. So thanks, Blaze. Cheers to the chat. Have a great rest of the show. Sorry I couldn't be there live, but at least I threw out my 2 cents for everybody. Take care.
All righty, there you have it. I get this off of there. There we go. Yeah, so Monstar, I mean, one of the most real, straightforward types of dudes I know, as you can see. Me and him have long conversations about this type of stuff. We've been doing the same thing, for the 7 years I've been doing it. He was, started right after I did, like he said. But the one thing that he mentioned, and Tiny even mentioned too in the chat that I put up there, is having like a game every 2 years or something. And I agree, but I always try to play devil's advocate. I always try to look at the other side of the coin when stuff like that. And I'm thinking, when you look at a video game producing, plus games, merchandise in general, you're looking at normally a 6-month window of before it releases. It's actually out to the public. And that's not even counting production or design or any of the other crap. So to anticipate a game and say, we're just going to add on to this game for X amount of years, the one variable you can't determine is how far technology changes. So, for instance, I'm going to make this game and it's going to be for 5 years. We're going to add on to it. And I know they've already proven this is something that can be done and they do it in other games. But I'm just saying, if there's something that can hold you back, it is the fact that if I say I'm making this game for 5 years, but in those 5 years, something changes where the game can be so much better if the root of the game had to be changed. Because now you're talking about keeping a small portion of the game the same throughout and adding on, making changes. You can adapt a lot, which I've seen with other games as well. And I'm not disagreeing with the point at all, is what I'm trying to continue to reiterate. What I'm saying is sometimes the drawback would be, how long are you supposed to project that game that you're just going to add on to it before you have to redo like the main part of the root of the game, or maybe the whole game, or structure. Like right now is probably the reason I'm mentioning is the idea I'm going at behind is, we've played with a game now that has been retooled since 2K18 and 19, right? Same game. They have never done a total really big overhaul. We've got the same elements and the same design features. Since, you know what I mean? Like all the little things have been the same for years and years and years. And they always say you can't polish a turd. Like, I wouldn't call this game a turd. I think it's amazing at what this game can do as far as looking like a TV show and a character that wrestles. But when it comes to where it should be at this point in technology, I would agree with most of the people that are saying right now that it should be way far ahead. Now, is it because they hung on to old gen a little bit too long? Maybe. But it is tough to say to thousands of people that have PS4s only, sorry, no wrestling game this year, because they know they're the only one. So I've also, not that I'm for it at all once again, but I understand the money grab. I've also heard rumors that, if the contract's about to be up, why not make as much money as you can now before, heaven forbid, it goes to EA or somebody else in a couple years? So why not make as money? That's why they're not really like out here apologizing for anything they're doing right now, is because, when you see something like this come up, about custom arenas, this is still one of the most troubling images I've seen playing this game for years. Like Monstar said, he's really glad, and I am too, that we got mentioned now from the devs, from the game, creation suite. Here's this. we've already patched Creation Suite in the first 7 patches, which, it seems like for the past 22, 23, 24, 25, Creation stuff didn't get patched until 10, 11, 12, when, we had to just deal with it for a while, not use a certain match, don't use this or that. But for them to basically tell you that if you use a custom arena, unexpected gameplay results and lighting conditions basically means it might not look right or act right, and we ain't going to do shit about it. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully they do fix it. Patch 1.7 coming out soon is they've already added. I mean, I know I had all the images for the different patches where it looked like they patched a whole bunch of stuff and then a good bit of stuff and then a little bit of stuff and then absolutely maybe one thing. And then they said, hey, we got another patch coming out. And I joked about it and I heard from other people too. It's like the Tony Khan major announcement. I got our major announcement this Wednesday. Our major announcement is next week. We got to have a major announcement. It's kind of like, hey, there's a patch coming up to tell you about the next patch. And don't get me wrong, I kind of understand it because I always look at it from the business side. If they came out with just a patch that said various things, their normal spiel they do, and that's it, people be like, there's so many things people are complaining about, and they fixed one thing. It's like I think the last thing they want to do is piss off the community, but they've already done it to an extent that now we're talking about 2K20, the biggest piece of shit that people just had to stop using and bought, and this one's like catching up. But it's not too late. Like the 7th patch, this could be one that takes care of the big problems. Not all of them, but then the question remains, and not because I want to bitch, because we've seen it in 23 and 24 and 25. Patch 7 comes out. It's based off the original game, not everything they've already patched, right? That's why it's also fucking shit up while it patches stuff. That's my philosophy. And it makes total sense because you really think they're going back and, here's the biggest thing. They don't and probably never will test it like we use it because we are taking 2 custom characters in a custom arena with custom logos and custom entrances with custom move sets. So everything is custom on most, I'd say at least half of the shows on this thing here. Like some people use the game stuff. Some people use real characters from WWE and incorporate. I love that shit. Please don't stop. That's why we always say 40 different ways to do it. You're looking at all these logos. I love that they're all different. I really do. The next guests I'm going to bring them on together. They're newer to this community, but maybe not newer to the game. We're going to find out a little bit more about them. We saw them in a couple other communities. And then, once I had both of them, glad I got them. Great people in the community, fun. Always, they understand both of them. And we're talking about a big age range. And, we have young people here that are more mature than some of the olders. We have some of the older people that are more immature than some of the youngers. So it's not like there is an age limit, but this is a show that is 18 or over. This has always been an adult show, but that's not to say that we haven't had younger people. Hell, and I was surprised because I didn't know for a long time how young Matt Storm was, but he's a younger guy too. I mean, we got people right in their 20s, but it's all about if you can play the game. That's what it's all about. It's not just sit back and watching. Couple years, maybe 1 year ago, I think on one of these podcasts, these Get Blazed, I said, LTD is no longer a fly-by-night show. And I tried to explain that more is like, because for the first couple years, I was, bringing on just about anybody. And then because I was the one that wanted to take on the most people from everywhere, even the people that didn't like each other. I wouldn't put them against each other and try to fuck it up like a lot of people try. They're like, oh, we'll just make the 2 people that hate each other feud. No. And I've seen so many communities and places blow up trying to do that shit. But neither here nor there. I had so many different communities. So the new group of people we got coming in has really changed the game now as well. And it's always refreshing. And the one thing I've always said that I'm here to do is meet new people, have fun, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to bring on both Brandon Bones and the Beast from their 2 companies to talk to them a little bit about what they do and how they're using the new game and going forward. Like I said, they are newer to the industry, but we're glad to have them here. Welcome in, guys. What's happening?
Hey, what's up? What's
So,
up, guys?
I mean, both of, I mean, I haven't really had time to chat with either of you really, like behind the scenes and stuff, but it's something where, you know, we talk about, you know, just bringing people in off the wing and, you know, but you'll both of you will know that I didn't just say, okay, come on in, where's your hashtag, bring you down, sign you up. And it's for a reason. And you know, I've tried to take care of this community. And so I kind of like watch people first. Like I like to see, oh, maybe you got hired on this show or that show and see how they are. And both these dudes interacted well. But the tip of the cap was when I saw you guys doing a show together and working together on commentary and, you know, like booking the shows together and having like that is like, okay, now I definitely, and I didn't get you guys on the original summits because everyone from last year's wanted to come back. So I knew when I did this, I was hoping you guys were up for it. So I wanted to give both you guys an opportunity to, you know, talk about maybe what got you into e-fedding and what brought you to this point. And we'll start with Bones.
I mean, I've done some sort of form or fashion of this since I was a little kid. I mean, we're talking like 1987, and then trying to expand upon the original Nintendo's pro wrestling games, Starman, King Corn Car, and King Slender. You know, those are my dudes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, later years on or whatever, like when we finally got a game that you could actually do like a sim with or whatever and stuff, it didn't really even seem like it was even worth it, nor that it would be that entertaining or whatever. But ultimately, like WWF Attitude, PlayStation 1 had a huge, like vast reservoir where you could just stack guys, as many as you wanted from any other federation. Decided to do a tournament called Canada Cup. So it was just like tag team tournament, NCAA tournament style or whatever, did 32 teams. Took us about 12 and a half hours to get through it. So we were, you know, insane. But eventually it evolved into doing it as like a federation and shit. So eventually I switched over to the 64, WrestleMania 2000, No Mercy. Who could ever fucking complain about any of that? And then the GameCube was really where it really had taken off, where like I'm doing this shit at parties for people and stuff, where I'm setting up like the husband and the wife that are throwing the party or whatever are facing each other in front of a room full of 40 fucking people. And for years I didn't do it because I didn't think any of these 2K games were any fucking good, man. Like I bought 2K13 or whatever and stuff, and it'd be like sim match, bell rings, run across the ring, into the corner, suplex off the top rope to the floor, every single fucking time, you know. And it's like, so I didn't do it for a long time. And then I got my YouTube channel, 2K18, and I've been here ever since. Of course, I spent all that time in 2K19 learning the game engine. And now I think what we've got here is really like I think an evolution up as far as like quality of match type thing. You know, like you want different matches, a variety of matches on a show now. I mean, now is the best potential ever, I think, considering what we have available to really manipulate it. I
agree. I mean, I really wanted it. You know, that's another reason I wanted you guys on together. Obviously, the contrast of, you know, we have someone who like I know Bones in a lot of our just conversation in the chats. I could tell back in the day, you know, you've been through this evolution of e-fed type stuff, and you summed it up right there. Pretty much just like a lot of us now with you and a lot of people. And I'll admit right off the bat, always have and will over me. I'm more of a gamer watcher. Like I like gaming and stuff, but I'm more of a connoisseur. I've never really delved into adventure games or any of the games and playing them. I don't play this wrestling game. I only create, and people are like, what? Like people see when I get fucked up on the game and I got to do something. Like, how do I get back in the ring? What button do I push? Someone help me.
This shit was grown out of how bad I suck at video games.
Yeah,
my friend was better at it. So we had to do something to fucking make this more competitive.
And that's a point. How many times do I say I want creativity? I want your imagination. Like, and I use the Dungeons and Dragons and you know, and use that comparison a lot. There's Monstar. What's happening? We just heard from Monstar and everything that he had to say about the game and everything. So in contrast, Beast, what about you? Like recently coming into the scene, I've seen you in a couple other shows and now having your own show and then using this knucklehead here on commentary with you, having fun. It's a blast. So how did you get started? How'd you find the community and everything?
So like 2 years ago, I know nothing about e-fedding. I was just searching 2K25 streams. I found Solo Season, and he's the main one. He's the main inspiration that got me into e-feds. Then I met you. I seen your channel, really good. And I thought, how can I let my love for like violent stuff like ECW type wrestling and make it into kind of what you guys are doing, EFEDs. So that's where EWF was created. And it's just all about crazy matches, using weapons, and also trying to tell compelling storylines along the way. And I still got a lot to learn because that's why I love this collaboration with MVWF, because I can just learn from him and he can learn from me. So it's just a pretty neat thing.
The game is so generous to this kid. When all the like little special spots and the things that you kind of special moments that you want to have happen, he gets it by the fucking spoonful.
And this is such a great example of what I've talked about so many times about working together. Like, what a way to complement each other. A seasoned veteran helping someone else who's new here, and someone new adding a fresh dimension to something that someone's already done and tried to do over and over and over. And you guys play off. I mean, I'm a pretty good guy, good at testing a vibe and getting a vibe. And as soon as I saw a couple of your shows together, I was just like, it's just, I've seen this over and over failed. Like I've seen, and it's not like I don't love, obviously you guys understand how much I love this community and everyone, but I've had a lot of requests and I never want to put myself on a pedestal or think I'm better. If I want to help lead and control and call someone out when shit happens or whatever, or bring people together, that's me. But I never want the pat on the back and all that bullshit. But when things go down, I'm like, this is what new people can do. When you bring new people in, you find new people, and it injects like a new energy into the community. And it's like I said, it's a living example of the contrast. And I've talked about it so many times. There's different levels of engagement that people, I think a lot of people that run these shows forget about that. They get entrapped into what their vision of e-fetting is. And if they want it, and I'm only talking about if you want it to grow. And that's my only advice, because I've learned how to grow it, reaching into different communities and kind of finding, these kind of guys, the way they act, that might rub people the wrong way in my company. But these guys, man, they really get it. You know what I mean? Like you can maybe, hey, but these guys that I don't like would work perfectly on my boys show. Like there's something for everyone out there. And,
well, the kind of show you do, you have different needs. Blaze,
yes.
You have a huge roster. I mean, you can't use all 90 something of your characters on every single episode or whatever. So how you manage and produce your show and stuff like that is going to have to edit things down. But I mean, when you're already still doing 4 live shows and a podcast every week, and even then finding it kind of like bursting at the seams, it's understandable that like maybe some of these multi-med matches you'd want them to go a little shorter,
Yeah. Yep.
Just for the sake of the production of things.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Beast and working with him and stuff, bro, like I when I ventured out, like I've been on an island unto myself for like over 20 years, right, doing this. And I was looking for somebody who was kind of going to do it like I did. And Beast is basically kind of the closest to what I have done and kind of coming from the same approach.
Yep.
And then, man, it complements itself so well, And man, our characters have just blended together. It's been perfect.
It's and what I've done, and I make this an art. I talk about this being an art form, and I study the art form. Like I watch shows. I've done that ever since. Like when I started doing this and found it, I was like, oh, people are making their entrances. That's pretty cool. Oh, people are calling matches. What is this? They're using Universe now. Oh yeah, that's I've been doing that. I've never thought about streaming it, and then I'm seeing it. I'm like, I could do that. But then I'm like, wait a minute. I watched for 9 months, the whole year of 2017. I sat there and I was finding different ones and seeing how they did it and like planning my own out. Like I didn't want to jump right into it. Like I wanted to absorb some of it first. And I knew what I wanted to do. And that was bring as many people together as I could. But I knew going in, just like you said, and a lot of people, and I know I've lost a lot of people from the roster. They're like, listen, I don't want to be in crazy 8 matches all the time. I'm like, listen, if you hang around long enough and you're involved a lot, you find yourself ending up either winning roulette and booking a singles match, or you'll get that match you really wanted because you're now really involved. Like I've always had that in the back of my head, but I don't want to promote that. Like, I don't want to say, I don't want to discredit anyone that has a job and a family and their own channel and this. They can't be at every show every minute. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like I want to accommodate everyone somehow. And like you said, everyone can't have a match every show. How do you get around that? Like a lot of things I've done, do a roulette so someone can have an opportunity, even when you're not booked, you have an opportunity to win a match and have your own, or friendly fire rumbles. You never know. You don't have a match that day, but you decide to watch the show. You end up in a rumble, you win, you got a title shot next week. You never know what happens. Like you got to try to find ways to interject people. I think the biggest thing is like even here, just you can bring up people's things. They want to see their name on the screen. They want to hear them talk to. So I always told people, and this is to your own extent, because some people they call the match and they stop every once in a while to address the chat. But as much as you can interact with the chat, if you want to grow, that's how you do it, is interacting with chat. You guys, as soon as I've come in, I've seen other people try
stimulating interest.
Yeah. The tandem thing, or two guys and they try too hard, or they're talking over each other, or they don't compliment each other. But you guys already have the formula. And I was like, right off the bat, I'm like, it's smooth. It's like a show. They're going back.
Well, Beast, tell him, like, well, with the show we did yesterday, I mean, the commentary was probably, as far as performance-wise, where we're not in the same room. We can't take any sort of, like, physical cues from one another or whatever.
Yeah.
And for some reason or another, we did kind of manage to get through a 3-hour show without really stepping on each other's toes.
Yeah, that's what I like about it, because I'm just the main commentator. I'm the one who says all the moves. Brandon, I mean, you say some of the moves also. So, and it's also great because sometimes my parents call me, so I have to go AFK, and you get to cover for me. So that's
brother.
Dude, I'm telling you, it is not like people don't realize this is not as easy as people think. So doing what you guys are doing, it's a lot of credit, because I've seen people try it and fail it. I'm serious, but like the formula is, and it kind of works out for the game. Like the other person has in a delay; they're behind a little bit. So like I don't know, when you guys do it, how are you watching it through the PlayStation together, or is he just watching the live stream?
Share screen.
Yeah. So Bones, are you on a delay at all from his live stream if he streams it, or no?
It happens occasionally where it seems to lag and then catches up, and lags and catches up. There was one show we did or whatever where I was definitely like a few seconds behind.
Yeah.
But it's not like it would be if you were to be like watching your own screen, like say via YouTube, and then just doing like a voice chat thing. Then you'd be really fucking far behind.
Yes, because that's what I'm talking about. Like if I would bring some in through my Discord and just have them through my sound card come in through the show, they're gonna be on a 10-second delay at least. And how people have overcome that, and you guys already kind of have the formula, is the main guy would do the play-by-play, like B says, he does the play-by-play. The other guy can do just color commentary, which is adding on to that was, or back in the day this guy did this, or let me tell you a story about this extra add-on things to this move, that move, here he does this, that a lot of people don't even try that formula. And I've seen some people try 3 or 4 commentators and it's just talking over each other, and it's just like, how can you? So I mean, kudos to you guys for pulling it off. Now, for as far as 26 goes, do you guys have any plans, like things in this list that that you want to use, that you can't wait to use, or you don't really care about, or plans? Now, when you guys do your shows, are they 2 separate shows, or are they coexisting in the same universe?
They're coexisting in the same universe.
Right, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't, this was kind of like his weekend or whatever to do some stuff. Next weekend I'll do a show, and then probably the Survivor Series, the show that's behind me or whatever on the graphic, which is them versus us. We're gonna do a straight up Survivor Series show. His team versus our team, and we're gonna do like a stacked show. Kind of like an all-star game.
Now you're doing 4-on-4 elimination matches like traditional Survivor Series, or no?
It's going to be like
it's a variety,
like a bunch of 8-man tags, but with slightly different rules or whatever. It's for the same.
I was going to say, because if you do the 4-on-4 elimination, I'd be like, give them some finishers and low health or something, because otherwise you're going like an hour and a half matches.
When it comes to giving them advice about things, I was saying like, well, listen, if we're going to stack the main event full of like all of our A-listers and shit like that, maybe we got to have just like one pin or whatever. So. Not everybody's doing a job on this show, so we can continue to do some more stuff later on. Down the card or whatever, there's a street fight where it's anything goes, and then a traditional elimination style one, and then it's on his platform. So he's going to have some buffer matches in between or whatever that are a bit more relevant to his show. than the overall like rivalry thing or whatever and stuff. But
Now, do you guys use universe mode or you guys use play mode?
oh yeah,
Universe.
Yeah, universe.
Now, you guys though, do you do what I do and like wipe the card out and book it yourself, or are you guys letting the universe mode book the matches for you? Which way you do?
I don't let it do nothing for me.
Okay, so you have your own plans and everything.
Yeah, I booked it.
There
I don't let AI book my shows at all.
I've let every year. I'm like, let's try it out, and then like show 3, I was like, why are they tagging, or why did that end, and what are they doing over here with this match? Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose there's like things, buttons you can push on this thing to try and kind of like massage it into doing certain things or whatever. But I would never trust it, to pay off in any sort of way where if I'm pushing a narrative. I mean, you're just reactionary on the microphone based off of what you're seeing in front of you and how that feeds the narrative, sure. But I mean, the game going to be throwing the pitches at me. I don't know if I can really swing at that.
And that's kind of that's one of the things you kind of tipped at there that I like the most is that we don't know the outcome. We're booking the matches, but we don't. It's not like there are some shows out there do pre-plan. They'll do their own storylines and pre-plan the matches and re-record it and stuff like that. But you guys are doing yours live, right? You're not re-recording yours, or what?
Yeah, and then also, by the way, one time, but speaking of like having to adhere, to what the game, determines as the winners and losers and stuff. One time, the game stripped my champion of the fucking belt because of injury.
Yeah,
I didn't know it could do that.
yeah, those are in universe mode. I normally turn a lot of that stuff off because I don't want it to.
You see the injury report. It's a nice little reference at the end of the show, whatever, something visual to look at to kind of do a wrap up on your show. And then it says it stripped my champion of the fucking belt, and I'm like,
I always say the game will be the game. And the thing is too that people don't realize is, and I always say we're taking this game and we're molding it in so many different ways. But each one of us, like every one of these logos, is taking that ball of clay and molding it just a little bit differently than the other.
Yeah.
So that's why when we and this is me just playing the other side of the fence, and we criticize 2K for not being able to make a game that works in all these scenarios, just take a second and think about how many different scenarios. Like they would have to literally plan an extra year of testing to test every different types of creations and different types of arenas with this in it or that in it or this. Like it is incredibly impossible to test everything that we do. So it kind of makes sense to me that they let us creators out here test the creation end, but I kind of wish they opened up the levels of communication a little better so we can say, because I finally reported on 2K's website that the ramp cam is not working in 26. Like I don't know if anybody else has had it work. I haven't heard, like everyone's like, oh, I haven't tried it yet, but you set it to ramp cam, go, and I did it in universe mode and out. It's still hard cam. Like ramp cam does not work. And I was like, you'd think that would be like a light switch for one of the programmers or devs. Oh, shit, I forgot or whatever. Now it works. That seems like an easy fix. I mean, I'm not a programmer. I'm just saying, compared to some of the other.
I have a little trouble assigning tag team moves to some of my teams and stuff, some double team moves that, like I choose the move in the menu or whatever, and then you get back to the selected menu, and it's just like the starter four that were there at the beginning or whatever. I never seen.
Right now, my biggest issue is, and I was talking to Totes about it, and that's what he's talking about, retesting stuff. And I'm not a player, so all the bars and levels and health meters don't mean fucking jack shit to me. I'm creation only, creation, simulation, and commentary. So they're talking about when you take a created wrestler, a CAW, a CAW, and put it into universe mode, it's automatically competing with 0 health. Like it's fucked. You have to go into the hit point ratio and kind of fix it. Now I've seen that mentioned so much in a bunch of people's videos that I think that I can't be positive about anything with this game, but I'm saying that should be one of the things they gotta patch, because starting out with a dead character, like it's all in red for they keep saying when your character starts, if it's a created character. And then I saw posting, it's hit point ratio, go in, it's all at 0. You just got to readjust it. So it's a bunch of extra shit we have to do to jump loopholes through this game, because as I say a million times, what we forget a lot of times is there are millions, gazillions, gazillions of just little kids that are never creating shit. And they're just playing John Cena versus CM Punk. And there's people that have played this game since day one and played it for 50 years and don't create anything and just play the game. I know friends of mine that were, the guys that are in the industry, they may create their self and that's it. There's no Efed or group of people. They're not sending each other's cause. So over half, probably more than 75% of the actual full community aren't doing what we're doing. It might be more.
Yeah, we're painting with a fork, not with a brush.
Yeah, exactly. And I try to always, when the complaining gets to ad nauseum and you're like, all right, I get it. It's frustrating. It's not doing what we want it to do. And then the argument is always but it is made to do that. And I'm like, well, if you fill up the 100 cost slots,
it's available.
The 50 arenas, the 50 moves, I mean, the 50, all the different created things. And I've tested it for 5 games in a row. It will start to crash on you if you fill it up. And I've used the hard drive being full comparison so many times. If you fill it up all the way, there's more likely you're going to have problems with it. It's not a guarantee, but just like the 200 or 2,000 slots, right in number 1 and number 2. I guarantee
Do you suppose though that this expansion to 200 slots and all the extra images and stuff like that is going to be able to support what you have been trying to do, considering that, I mean, I used the phrase bursting at the seams earlier, though.
Yes, I think that some of the big issues I had, like the crash based on how many custom images, because I know that was one. It was in 23 where a couple different streamers were posting. If you go over 500 images, because they had like so many people complain, they're like, wait, they were asking them, are you over 500 images? And most of them were. So they, deductive reasoning, we don't know for sure 100% any of these issues are caused because player A's game is configured so different to player B, C, D, E, everybody who does creations. Once again, going back to that ball of clay, you're trying to fix a ball of clay that's broken based on what this one did. Everybody else's ball of clay is already different. And if you're sending out a fix, that's why these patches are breaking things at the same time they're fixing things, because they can't even be expected to test it all the ways we're twisting and turning the game. Yeah. But it starts at 0 for the glitch. 600 is the lowest level. Yeah, Totes is already trying to fix it. He's out there testing. So we are, like we always said, we are the ones that are going to have to test it. And sitting here, I don't know. I don't mind people complaining about it, but complaining about ain't gonna fix shit. We can report stuff. It ain't gonna. There's still the problem I had in 25 on my second PlayStation login that I can't get into community creations. Vince McSham's going through that right now. It is, and he's contacted 2K and contacted Place, contacted here, contacted there, emails and problems, and do that and take your computer and shove it up your own ass and reboot it and they're trying to find out a problem. I used to do computer troubleshooting stuff. Most of the time it is blindfolded, throwing a dart at the wall to try to figure out. And it's trial and error till you find out what the problem is. So I understand it's not easy to fix this game, but I also understand the frustration of having so many things that need to be fixed. Like, it seems like it should be less.
Right. I think I'm a little bit more fortunate in that because my roster isn't as big, so it's not really a burden.
Amen.
But that being said, I've had my fucking problems.
Yeah.
Like the 2K22 crashed on me. I didn't have 2K23 for several months, trying to get like licenses or something back or whatever. That blew up in my face, so I didn't get very much for my dollar out of that fucking game. But ultimately, right now, like, if things are looking good. Like, I like this AI settings thing for the moveset. Like, I'm really fucking into that, man. Like, I don't know how different it is than just putting your favorite star on something, but I mean, I have seen, and Beast will attest to it or whatever, that I did some experimenting with his character or whatever, and his character did some pretty weird shit. And that was reflective of it, where he did a flurry of fucking swanton bombs and shit.
Nice. And that's the consensus I've heard from a lot of people that, just either don't care, don't want to talk about the bad stuff that's happening, just want to concentrate on the actual gameplay and the wrestling and the fighting is finally back to what they wanted it to be. And it's a lot better with like the moveset sequences you said and stuff like that. So I think we're getting there.
The dude Solo's onto something, man. Like, he's really like diving into the analysis of the sliders and make selecting these types of moves to only happen in certain scenarios. Like one of the things that's really made a huge difference in the quality of my matches recently is the selection of like diving moves over the top rope, off the top rope, moves that you would otherwise like deem as high spots, and being very specific about how those moves are used, because those are moments.
Yeah.
Right. That's what Solo was said he was looking for. He was looking for the moments, and those moves would be the moves that would create those moments. And if used in the correct sense, rather than like on 2K13, like I said, whip into the corner, suplex to the floor, the bell just rang. You know, fuck that shit. That sucks. You know what I mean? Great spot, sure. Don't need it in the first 5 seconds of the match. You know.
Yep.
And I think some of this stuff really might be, I don't want to say revolutionary, but again, if it works and has the influence on the move selection and what it decides to do, whatever, you can really start to generate some really good quality, even relative to what you might see on real TV.
Yeah, I think this is a big step in the right direction. It's not all the way where I would want it. I want, like Monstar Sean mentioned in his little rant there about the full sandbox. I want to be able to go into universe mode and be like, all right, here's my video for the beginning. Then I want this match. Then I want a promo backstage. Then I want this person to get attacked. Then I want, this match to end this way. And then I want this, and then I can maybe not pick how that matches end, but it's all just puzzle pieces that you put together. They have all the pieces to the puzzle right now. They want to put it together their own way where, it's going to do it itself, and it's not good enough. The engine's not good enough. And we're not getting that complete overhaul where they're starting over and saying, all right, 2K27 is completely free. It's a brand new game. It's nothing like the last one, but it does everything we did before, and then we're just going to build on that. Like I kind of, once you see a lot of these other Fortnite style games and other games do that. Yeah. And they even, and he mentioned it too about like, my vision was, of course, when they mentioned the island, I'm like, yep, the island to currency, the buy land to currency, I was calling it. I was like, that's a money grab. Of course, they're going to make tons off of it. But then I thought, what if, and I've said this before on these podcasts, what if it evolves into Efed Island, where we do have a sandbox, but not only a sandbox to pick off the show, but our environment. Like Moon City, I put out that picture of what Moon City would look like for everybody to get that visual. Here's where the Redneck Ranch is. Here's where the Mad Lab is. Here's where the Moon City Arena is. And then as they were exploded, I would destroy it and make an updated picture and send it out again and be like, here's what it looks like. So having that picture of the map and what it looks like, I think goes a long way. And I think now the structure of what we're getting now is just a tip of the iceberg of what this game can do, because what was holding down it with the old gen, they had to make that game for technology that was decades old, basically. And once again, we talk about manufacturing, producing, and putting out a product. It's going to take at least 6 months, because I remember I used to run a Champ Sports, and this is sporting goods, pretty basic, hardline sport, hardline sports. We're talking about weightlifting stuff, rollerblade, shit like that, as well as jerseys, shoes, all that good stuff. And to find out a product coming out, it wouldn't be 6 months until the next, like we would always want when the next Jordan was coming out every year. Because I did this in the early, the late 90s, early 2000s. So it's all about Jordans and stuff like that when it's coming out. So to get the idea for them to fix the game to where it's going to have to be rebooted to like a shell of the game and rebuild it. Do we really want that? Do we want that? Like my reaction was the same as yours. As soon as I mentioned that, Bones, it's like, do we really want to just delve right into a completely new free game? Nothing like, and that I think would be if it got handed off to EA or somebody else. Like I think 2K, as long as they have it, they're going to keep the root of this game, which seems to have like a cancer. Like there's something wrong with the root. But instead of ripping the cancer out and rebooting the whole game, they just keep kind of fixing it, give it that medicine so it keeps going, and patch it.
As a consumer, I would definitely prefer to that. I mean, after the AEW game completely failed to do any of what I would need to do this, the thirst for like another game that does what we can do with this here, but something different than the template that we've been stuck with for all this time would be kind of appreciated at this point. If somebody somewhere would step up and do that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the market doesn't seem to really be
well,
that at the moment.
And that's it. It's the market. Like I've said this for the last fucking probably all 5 of these summits. Until there's competition for this game, they have no reason to change. They have no motivation to really overhaul what they do, because And a sports comparison for anybody who I'm from Pittsburgh. So the Pirates is a team that sucked for the last 20 years, but they're still making a profit. So our owner, who's just this rich old white dude who don't give a shit, that he don't care. He's still making a profit every year, even if the team sucks and are in last place. So he doesn't pay millions of bucks to go out and get better players and rehaul the team. So we're getting the same team that sucks every year, but we just deal with it as fans. Like right now, we have to too as 2K fans, because we can't say, oh, we're going to go over to Virtual Basement and watch that game and use that game. We're going to go over to, this one that was supposed to come out, whenever, we're going to go over to UWF. We're going to come over to this one. All these new games that never Ultra Pro, we never got to see them yet. But if they come out, that would enhance them to change. But I really think we may be seeing a change to a different manufacturer before that. I don't know. But as far as the 2K26 stuff goes, Beast, is there anything else in this list that we're looking at that you are looking forward to, you want to use with you guys' universe?
Yeah, I think the new match types would be a good addition to what I do. The Inferno match is something that I experimented with. I'm very pleased about, because I thought it was just going to be like, you can't exit the ring, just throw your person in the flames. But man, I was very pleased when I saw that you could go outside, get the weapons out, put them in the ring. Like, that's what EWF needs. Now, Inferno matches in EWF will, of course, be uncommon, because I'm not doing that every pay-per-view or every show. The 3-Stage of Hell match is probably going to be my favorite out of the bunch, because it's something I've been waiting for a damn while. Because I love the intrigue where, like, in the first 2 matches, the 2 people got their ass beat, and then on the 3rd one, you never know what's going to happen. And the I Quit, I'm not really into that. I don't really care about it, because I think the AI is just going to be like, the second you put him down, will you quit? And then he's going to put him down again. Will you quit?
Yeah.
And it's just going to be that on repeat.
Like a last man standing match. It's just, it's the same thing. Yeah, same thing. But like you just said, using things like that momentarily here and there can really pay off. Anything else?
I used a cash-in on 26 on a recent show. It worked out really well. Scenario being that, like, it was a little thing came up on the screen that, like, offered it to me. I hit the button. It's like the cash-in is going to happen right after this match, because the champion happened to be in the ring. Guy came in. Here's the briefcase or whatever. Won the belt. Like, guy looked like he had just had a match or whatever, but they did make a little thing of it or whatever. Not too bad for, like a 2 matches for 1 segment for all intents and purposes, big plot twist.
Yeah, I love it. Now the one thing you guys mentioned great points on just about everything that with all the guests tonight. And we got another one coming up next here in just a moment. The 3 stages of 3 stages of hell can be used a lot of different ways too. Like I think right now my 3-ring circus thing, like 3-ring circus now can be insane. Like I'm thinking maybe it could be like one of those old spin the wheel, make the deal type things. Put 12 different match types on the wheel and spin it 3 times. There's your 3 matches. And the next person's can be completely different. So 3-ring circus, I got all kinds of ideas. So yeah, using how everyone uses all these new things. So it was refreshing to have a whole bunch of new stuff coming there. There's our man Solo in the building. Good to see you. But and Joey, I'm ignoring Joey on purpose. That's why I'm not reading his bullshit. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, Joey? But so you guys have got something really good. I've noticed her off the bat. I wanted to bring you guys on and let you guys know that it's being noticed, and we love you in the community. I mean, Brandon Bones, I give you a lot of credit. Your character is out to rub everyone the wrong way, and you're doing a great job of it. And I appreciate that. Like, you gotta have those characters. Like, that's kind of why I kind of threw you in there with Count and all those other knuckleheads that are doing the same thing. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how you guys interact. And then a couple people that are resist the really bad stuff but still have fun. Oh, it's gonna be a blast.
So can I ask real quick though? So when you took the alien mask off of me, did you not put the flower crown back on my head on purpose? Because you're like, well, this sucks. So he's obviously not going to want this thing that sucks. So I'll just not put that back, not realizing how attached I was to it.
That was one of those total. No, that was totally one of those when you copy it over and leave it there. And I was just like, I didn't even think to go back when it happened. And I mean, and that goes to show you there is a lot that it happens, it's organic, and I run with it and just
Right.
make it part of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it happens so much that I think that might be one of the biggest. I talk about the golden rules of like, if you don't like a federation's owner, go find another one and stuff like that. Which as like being able to adapt to what the game gives you, I think is the main golden rule. Because
Yeah.
if you
'Cause
can do that,
it's
number
fortunate
one,
that it happened that way because
Yeah.
it started a dialogue about it.
yeah, yeah.
And then it didn't exactly make the snowball start rolling just yet, but the bow down to the flower crowd and the shit started kind of filtrate or whatever.
So many storylines can start organically or something. That's why, and
And
I
now there's
tried
more of us.
I tried purposely, and that's what it makes it tougher with the task I have, which we have a lot of people in the chat sometimes, and I'm just like, I'm trying to keep up, and I don't mean to ignore, because a lot of times I'd like to pick things out and be like, ooh, let's run with that a little bit. And then to see you guys catch on and keep going, that to me, it's huge, because then other people in the chat see, oh, he's not just blowing smoke up my ass saying this is Dungeons and Dragons, like, and you help control the game. Because if you just sit back and let the game do what it is, that's one way of doing it. And I'm not knocking it. But if I'm not having interaction and you guys affecting the game, I'm continuously trying to find new ways to make it interactive with you guys. And
it's like I keep telling Fusion that, like, sure, maybe you're not winning matches, maybe you don't ever win matches, but if you're over and your matches are interesting and destination television or whatever,
hell yeah,
that's an achievement in and of itself.
Yep.
And so now Fusion is being abused by me in front of everyone, and this is great for me because it gives me something to do. And at the same time, now Fusion has a bit more of a spotlight put on him.
No, and it is, and we got a bunch of little things like that. Like me as the guy, my plan is create a monthly event every month. It's different and creative and fun for everybody, so they all have shots at titles all the time. See whose character reigns supreme, who wins the most and can hold the title the longest. All the other little stuff is normally started by you guys. Like throughout a stable where I'm sure something new is coming up that's going to start. This whole thing with the suits that are coming around was started because I saw something on Triple Beat show and stuff like that. It's like, and people saying, I'm going to use roulette or I'm going to do, like, I don't care. Like if you see something creative out there, I get it. Sometimes if you know the person, you're going to say, hey, do you mind if I use that really cool thing that you do? No, I don't mind. Anything you see that I've ever done, I love it if someone tries to use it and put their own little spin on it and stuff. Like TJ Toad would do the card game where he would have a card out of a deck that would be associated with each character on his roster. And that would determine where they would go in this next event. And I was like, I love it. But he took what I did and twisted it even more. And it was so creative. Like everyone has really fun, creative minds. And we're going to get on to another creative, fun mind who's coming back with a new twist to his game. So I want to, we'll be right back with these guys and the other people to do at the end of the day, like we only get. So thanks a lot. Keep doing what you guys are doing. We're going to have summits and Get Blaze Talk Show. I welcome you guys to come back on and make sure you guys check them out at both of the channels and see what they're doing. It's fantastic. So I appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Blaze.
All right. So look at me. I took off the intro that was supposed to get. Well, I guess we can't bring this next guest on. I can't find his intro. So we're just gonna end the show here. Sorry. No, just kidding. Give me a second. I was closing shit out and closed out. All right, here we go. Coming back with a new twist on what he's done before. Always crazy and fun. Always innovative. Who's going to hit the jackpot?
Who's ready to win some money? This is Jackpot Championship Wrestling. Applications open now.
Go. Come on. There we go. Let's bring him on, Riley Wolf, everybody. Welcome in.
It's It's that R-I-L-E-Y, the owner of not only the Dudleyville Casino, but Jackpot Championship Wrestling.
Good stuff. I love it. Very well done. Very nicely done with the intro.
Thank you.
Let everyone know I can guarantee no AI was used for that promo.
Absolutely not.
Not a fan of AI here with my friend.
Nope.
Fair enough too. I love it because the creativity's got to come from somewhere. It's okay to a point, you know. I do it here and there, but I appreciate that when I saw it. I was like, this is very well done. And I've always teased one of these days I'm going to stop and make a highlight reel commercial for LTD, but I've never done it. So Jackpot Championship Wrestling, we know the days of Dudleyville, you know, and then came back with Riley's last match. With a tear in my eye, and then keep that acronym there and twist it into another type of federation, add a gambling element back into it. It was it's pretty good. And I mean, I don't want to sit here and just fucking compliment you the whole damn show, but no, seriously, for those that don't know out there, doing what you're doing IRL as well as running this is just, you know, to find time to finally come back. I mean, you know, obviously, you know, we love the wildness, the wackiness, the craziness, but this man's also pretty organized. He's got a good head on his shoulders as far as being able to entertain the people. I mean, and that's the bottom line, right?
Yeah, that's you put it perfectly. And Jackpot Championship Wrestling is going to be an amalgamation basically of everything I've done. Like you said, Dudleyville Wrestling, it was a pet project of mine that was very skewed on the pre-recorded side. And we were able to tell some really enticing stories that, like,
shit. Oops. Come on back, Riley. I pressed the wrong button. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Riley. Come back, Riley. He has to go. I swear that was an accident. Technical difficulties. I went to press the button. I'm like, fuck, not that. Sorry. I really do apologize. I didn't mean to do that. If I wanted to be a dick and be heel blaze about it, I'd say it and use it. But no, that was my bad. Just continue wherever you were. I'm so sorry if you remember what you were saying.
Yeah, basically, I had a pet project, Dudleyville Wrestling. I really enjoyed telling stories, so we're going to bring that story element back in Jackpot Championship Wrestling, but bringing that casino element that made Regional Wrestling Legends Monthly and the Dudleyville Casino streams so fun. There was just that element of chance pun, and that gambling aspect, because after Riley Wolf retired, he used that money that he inherited from his family and his time in this community to open up a casino to keep making money. And we are this is an exclusive announcement as well as that trailer. You're not gonna see that trailer on my channel for at least another day. This is a CAW Summit exclusive that the first show coming back will be Jackpot Championship Wrestling presents Royal Flush Rumble, where the main event of the match will feature everybody who has won a match previously in the night, and the winner of that match will receive $100,000.
Woo! In real money. Thanks.
I wish.
in Riley money, in Dudleyville money. No, I love
But
it. I love it.
that will be a part of a bigger story. That once whoever wins that $100,000, they're probably going to be flaunting that out in the next couple of shows coming up. That's what it's all about. I'm trying to tell a long-term story with Jackpot Championship Wrestling. And I can't wait to present that to all you guys. I can't wait for you guys to be a part of it. As the end of the trailer says, applications are open now. Hit me up on Twitter, on Discord, on Instagram. Look for "There's a Belt in My Hand." That's more than likely me. No one's stupid enough to put that as a username. So yeah,
let me ask you the $1 million question then.
Ooh.
Because in the last game, we saw you dip into the past and use other games and parts of games. What game is this going to be on?
Oh, great you asked. We are going to be on WWE 2K26.
Okay.
As you said, we kind of jumped the shark by the end of Regional Wrestling Legends Monthly.
There you go.
And we're gonna scale it back. We're not on multiversal scale anymore. We're bringing it back to the local scale. Whereas like LTD, for example, that's on a galactic scale because you have the moon, you have all these planets. But we're going back to kind of like ground level, street level scale. Maybe we get back to absolute wackiness. We'll have to see if people are clamoring for it. I'm all for it. But for now, the initial show, Jackpot Championship Wrestling Royal Flush Rumble, will take place on WWE 2K26. And if you want to be a part of Royal Flush Rumble, hit me up in the DMs.
Cool. So like a lot of people that we've brought through here, we've talked about the transition into the new game, but there are some things right now that I think should hold someone back from really delving full deep into it. And I'm hoping this next patch kind of helps some of it out. Right now, I could see if someone does the game like I do, where I don't really use any of the run-ins, any of the rivalries, anything. I just use the game to map it out, or a pre-recorded show, which people do, which makes it, you definitely know how you breaks down because you recorded it, so I get that. Is there a time frame, or are you running it by ear and waiting to see, or do you have something locked in or not yet?
At this point, we're running it by ear. I've kind of been like flying by the skin of my pants half the time when it comes to this project. Of course, I'm balancing this out with a actual day job and a professional wrestling career. So right now we don't have a set schedule, and we don't have like when things are going to happen. More than anything, like I don't have yes, I have an idea of what I want to do, but the details aren't there yet. And as soon as those are there and everything starts falling into place, and as soon as I get more of a roster, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, join Jackpot Championship Wrestling, then we'll be able to move forward and give you guys an actual date as to when Royal Flush Rumble will take place.
There you go. Like you said, it's pretty easy to find. There's a belt in my hand. That's only one I talked about when I made Blaze Radio. It's kind of the same thing. I mean, you want a name that is going to stand out, is going to only bring your channel when you search it. So there is the link in the description. I put it in the chat right there for you too. Click on it. Make sure, drop him some message if you want to join. Same thing. It's going to be fun and interactive too. He kind of rolls with the same vibe I do, like wanting interaction with his and the entertainment part, like I've mentioned before, is huge for coming from someone who knows that's a huge part of the deal, is being entertaining.
Yeah, I'm going to be running this like a professional wrestling promoter, much like how I did with DVW. I have an idea on what I want, and hopefully there are people that can help me bring that idea out.
So is there anything in the list of bringbacks, new things that you're like, oh shit, yeah, I'm definitely going to incorporate that into Jackpot?
There's not really many match types that fit the casino theme. Honestly, it is very more of a rugged.
Are you doing it live or pre-recorded or what?
We are doing a pre-recorded show right now. That's my plan of doing pre-recorded. And again, bringing the presentation probably closer to my DVW show than RWLM and the casino streams. Though you might see, honestly, I might incorporate some live Dudleyville casino streams into it, but as of right now, my plan is to have a pre-recorded show, occasionally do some live streams, as well as this isn't really connected to the community. I will be doing a vlog series for WrestleMania because your boy is going to Vegas.
Love it. Love it. Awesome.
Yeah, my
That's
channel
awesome.
is not just community based; it's also life based. That's why it's not any of the number of the promotions.
And
Like it wasn't ever called Dudleyville Wrestling. It wasn't ever called Regional
exactly.
Wrestling Legends
It's a
Monthly. It was
brand. It's
always
definitely a
it
brand.
was
Yeah.
a brand, and
Yep.
that brand is myself.
Yep, definitely. And I know maybe it is a good idea, and this might be just like general advice for people out there, which I didn't realize until I tried it as well. Is and maybe for you, it's going to be a lot more time constraints. But once you get a show like he's going to do or anybody else is doing up and running, having a little side hour and a half podcast or something where it is like a casino type, chill type, where you can talk about out because it's pre-recorded too, then you have that time to converse with them about, how you can gauge if they're satisfied, what you might want to change. Like, it's free marketing, just doing a little live stream with your community. And until I started to do these interviews first and then the Get Blaze thing, where it's like you realize everyone out there's not going to have time enough to catch up with every bit of your programming or my programming or anybody's. There are some that will, but majority of them probably won't be there all the time because they're either doing this, that, or a third. And like I said, families, their own jobs. And a lot of people I find here on YouTube, they have their own channels. A lot of them are streaming every day, so they're doing their own thing. And so the expectations, that's why getting to know the person behind the character to me is pretty damn important. A lot of people pull this off without knowing the people, but I think that's pretty damn important. So going into whether or not, I don't know. I mean, speaking of that, right now is the end of the summit, and we're going to bring everybody back in for a little closing thoughts, like the only way we always can do. And it's always good to have, someone who's been with us pretty much since we started doing the podcast and stuff, like Riley, to be able to come back. So it's like, definitely reach out. And if you can't find Riley, find me, and I'll point you in the right direction to go and give it a shot. I mean, if you're on my roster, like I'll say right now, I'll vouch, if you want to have some fun and you're on my roster, which, I have welcomed a pretty damn big roster, and you're like, hey, I might want on Riley's, just reach out to me in DM and I'll get you in contact. Because I would only send Riley people that I know would be able to work with him. If you're on my roster, you've already been vetted through my process to be the ones that work well with others, is how I like to put it. And I've talked about it with each of the guests tonight. This community is fucking fantastic, and everyone does it their own way, and no one's really pushing an agenda on everybody else. Or everyone wants to be the best, obviously, or have a great product or have something that's entertaining. But so many of us are living off of each other and learning off each other. It's a beautiful thing. So let's take a small break. We'll bring everybody back. Thank you for being on here again, Riley. And obviously we'll be seeing more of Jackpot Wrestling as well.
Thank you very much.
Riley's the shit. We're gonna go take a tiny break, and then we'll come back with each of the guests that were here that are still sticking around. Get a little end of the day words to the fans, to the people, as we head out. Now, as far as my plans for podcasts, something extra, there's nothing saying I can't do another one of these. After 1.07 drops, if it is as massive and effective as they're making it out to be, like an emergency summit next Sunday or something like that, or is not out of the question. Everything's lined up just to bring people on like we did today. Normally I have so much pre-planning. Today I didn't. Reminders, if you're creating your own CAW, I say make them re-uploadable. A lot of people don't do that, but if you do that, it gives whoever's downloading it the ability to maybe adjust it and upload it for them as well. And we know with the way game data has been wiped out or eliminated or deleted, you want to have as many backups as you can. So if you're saving to your cloud data, that's one thing. If you're uploading community creations, that's like an extra backup. Like a lot of us learned the hard way about that last year. If you're really touchy about your creations, you don't want other people to have it. I get that. But is that more important than having your creation? Which at this point, until proven otherwise, I have no problem with anybody who's very leery about their, losing all their data at any point in time. I play this game right now. I cringe every time it's like between one part and another part, and it takes a minute. I'm like, please don't crash. So it's like, I hate that we have to think that way. And hopefully they start to fix a lot of things that we don't have to feel that way. But I was about to just use the phrase. I was going to say, at the end of the day, we'll be right back for the at the end of the day. Stay tuned.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Midnight Hobo presents Real Hobos of Genius.
Real hobos of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Silent Killer Gas Passer.
Mr. Silent Killer Gas Passer.
Last night you had the enchilada combo platter. This morning the 3 cheese omelet with broccoli. This afternoon, you're a ticking time bomb. Because of you, a simple elevator ride is suddenly a 42-floor plummet into the very bowels of hell.
Take my breath away.
Who did it? Who cares? Sweet mercy, please, just someone light a match.
Sweet, sweet mercy.
So crack open an ice-cold midnight hobo, old ninja of the nasty. And while you're at it, crack open a window, you nasty-ass son of a bitch.
Mr. Silent Killer Gas Passer.
Midnight Hobo Brewing Company, Desperation, Nevada.
Jesus, this commercial stinks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the goddess of pain.
Well, hello there. We see you lurking. You're in the shadows, in the rafters, maybe even in the bushes. Yeah, we know you're there. So while you're out there lurking and jerking, why don't you jerk that finger on up there, hit the like button, and maybe the share button as well. Show some love for Blaze McCoy and LTD. We know you like it already because you're watching. You can come join us in the chat. Really, you don't have to be shy. We won't bite. And if we do, it's not that hard. We'll make sure you enjoy it.
Professional lurkers are welcome. Feel free to stop in and leave a comment. We'll give you a shout out. Professional lurkers are welcome. Right here on the Blaze Radio Network, here on YouTube. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. I figured I'd show you my pussy. How are you doing? This is my kitty. He's sick. He's gonna sneeze on everybody. You gonna fucking blow snot everywhere, cat. Come on, man. Say hi to everybody, kitty. Again, you know what it is. All right, get the stepping on, man. All right, we're gonna bring everybody on and do what we do to end the old day at the end of the day. So we'll start with our first guest, Mrs. Utaker, at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, remember, there are real life people behind these characters. To love yourself and love one each other. Remember the keywords. Yesterday was the past. Tomorrow is the future. Today is the present. It's the gift because we've never been guaranteed a tomorrow. So always tell each other, love you. If you have loved ones, love them. But always remember, there's characters behind, there's people behind these characters that have real life issues, real life problems. We all do. But we use LTD as our escape.
Dragonheart, I was just about to bring you on, brother. Why'd you take off? All right, Brandon Bones at the end of the day. Brandon Bones, at the end of the day, you're on the air. Yep. He's on a delay. Watch, he's gonna realize.
Okay, man. I mean, above all else, the thing that I love the most, that's the stories.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, you're there. Mr. Riley Wolf,
I
at the
can't hear
end of the
shit.
day. No, we got you now.
At the end of the day, it's
Anyway,
just an excuse for
at
me
the
to
end of
drink.
the day,
Salute to all
thank
of you
for
at the
what you do.
Jackpot Championship
Blaze, you're
Wrestling.
doing a great job.
Appreciate it.
I can't hear anything that's being said, but I'm
all
doing
right.
my best, and I hope you all are doing the same. So, no difficulties. Thank you for sharing.
No, it's the best way to end it with all of our guests. Beast was just here. He ran away, and so did Dragonheart. But shout out to them for being a part of it. If you're watching the replay, please leave us a comment. We might be back with another summit. Garden streams are right around the corner as well. Chilling with you guys at my house to hang out as well. Can't say Wrestle Sense the game show ain't coming around the corner either. So stay tuned. So I might be bringing the game show back as well. So everyone, say goodbye. Bye, everybody.
Salute.
Bye.